y'all, so we back again with another video, and as you can see, we are doing another Rainbow Six Siege custom operator concept. So yeah, if you haven't seen the other ones, pretty much shout out to Fourtythree. He pretty much put, like, he has a Discord, and all his Discord people make these operators and like their loadouts, a theme, like the whole banners and just everything to do with them and their gadgets and stuff. And then he makes a video about it, and he also does a new operation. So this one is Midnight Sun, and I pretty much just react to the videos, and I just put my input into it. If it's strong, is it meta breaking, is it weak, what could be good to change, or do I think it's good enough for Rainbow Six Siege? So make sure you hit the like, subscribe button down below, and here we go. Shout out to Fourtythree.
Long-awaited hiatus, I am back. Me and fellow YouTuber Dlibs have been hard at work on a brand new operation that brings along 4 new operators, 4 new weapons, a new map, new story, and a major system rework. For part 1 of this operation,
okay, this video is going to be good. 4 ops, 4 everything.
He goes through his 2 operators, Guardian and I2. These are some amazing concepts.
I already reacted to that video. Top right corner, go watch it.
Today I will be outlining the story, my own 2 operators, the map and its layout, and 1 major system rework. Without further ado,
this should be entertaining.
Operation Midnight Sun.
Okay, so it's a snowy. It looks like it's up north, because up north it doesn't really go
Midnight
dark.
Sun takes place in Antarctica, a region only recently recognized for its abundance in natural resources, specifically oil and gas. As pressure builds on the UN to decide which countries have rule over which regions of the continent, they have allowed Rainbow to activate a team known as the Antarctic Defense Unit, or the ADU. This team is tasked with protecting the continent and its resources from any illegal activity outlined by international law. Operation Midnight Sun begins as a large militia invades the continent and begins drilling for oil and gas. The abundant resources begin flooding the market, saving the world from an upcoming energy crisis. The ADU are sent in to stop this operation, despite that, at any cost. Our first operator is an attacker from the Czech Republic, and brings with her an information denial gadget that rivals even the defensive options.
It looks like a crown. That's pretty cool.
That is placed very similarly to Maestro's cameras and will project a spherical light wall that any defender observation tools cannot see through. Akin to the observation blocker gadget on Defense. Once placed, this gadget will not deactivate until it is destroyed by explosive or melee means.
Okay.
The projector inside the gadget is defended by bulletproof glass, meaning it can be meleeed to shatter it. Drones like Echoes can enter the radius but cannot see inside the bubble once entered. Roleta will get 3 of these gadgets on spawn and can place them wherever she likes. I imagine this gadget could shake up how attackers decide to deal with enemy observation utility, giving an alternate choice to outright destroying it. Roleta has a very aggressive...
Give me 1 second. So the gadget places like Maestro, so you have to physically place it, and no defending op can see through it, like gadget wise. So Echo can't see through it. I wonder if the Mira can see through it. Who knows? Because that is compared, that's a gadget, so who knows. I wonder if Warden can see through it too. So let's see if he's actually going to say the counters and stuff for it. But 2 health and 2 speed is not too bad. So
starting with the brand new Benelli M3, a pump shotgun that has higher damage per pellet than the Supernova, but a slower pump speed and lower magazine size to compensate. With the Benelli, you really have to land your shots to get value, but if you can, it's a menace at close to medium range.
Okay.
Her second option is the Scorpion Evo, a weapon that is more than capable of tearing through the competition. She'll have a choice between the P10C
the fire rate on that Scorpion is crazy. Oh, that's good actually.
Claymore and impact EMPs for her gadgets.
I can easily see people, like, most of these guns, the Scorpion and the C75 is a great fire rate weapons. Their fire rate is crazy. So I probably see people running the pump shotgun for rotates and stuff like that and underneath play, and then using the C75 as their main primary weapon, I would say. Or they can just run the Scorpion and the C75 and just flipping gun and gun, you know? because it's definitely heavy on rushing.
But I'd personally love a more indirect option to defender utility in the game. Secondly, we have Santo.
It seems okay. It seems weak though, because you have to place it. You can't throw it.
This gadget, placed on top of a door frame, similar to Aruni's gadget, will only activate when Santo is nearby. While active, if any attackers walk through the doorway, the trap will explode into an electrified wire net that drops on top of the opponent. During the duration of the trap, the defender will not be able to AES. They can either wait for the charge to deplete or make themselves vulnerable by throwing the wire off themselves, which only should take a few seconds. While other gadgets in the game are benefited by a lurking playstyle, I feel some of them do not lean into it hard enough. Santo is made to change that. He will get 4 of these gadgets, and to deny them, they can simply be shot, and they also are electric, so they can be detected.
Are these attacking?
Similarly to Capcan, they also emit a quiet beeping that can be heard if an attacker is attentive enough. Because Santo has to be nearby for his gadget to be active, on the contrary, his own gadget can actually give away his general position. His loadout consists of the Super 90 and the Boss G.
Okay. So I was going to be honest. I was like, if they put this one as a attacker, it is not the best. Like, it won't get picked because if you... The same with the other one, the last one that we just did. I forgot her name. But I also think that should be a defender, because if you have to physically place a gadget in sight for it to work, I don't see it being good. Are you going to really use her Maestro camera for a secondary flank? Like, to watch your flank? Like, are you really though? Like, you want to place it in sight so it doesn't work, you know? So the enemy's gadgets can't see it. So maybe instead of making it a attacker, put it on defending. You can use it so attacking gadgets can't see through it. But I understand where they're coming from. So that means Pulse can't see you, Echo can't see you. So it's a really good way to actually get a plan off. But are you physically going to be able to put the gadget down to let it work? You know, like, you're going to have a good team behind you to even get that gadget to work. Same with this one. This one seems pretty good. And it's also a defender, so
options that allow Santo to play in
both shotguns too, Boss G and the Super 90.
The Mini SAF is a secondary SMG with a slower fire rate than all of its competitors, around 900 RPM, which is very similar to the T5. It will still have high recoil while only having a 20+1 magazine capacity, and
it is a
in the low 30s.
Slower
this
SMG.
Will have the vertical grip equipped by default, and will only have the sight, barrel, and underbarrel options available to it. He has the
it doesn't seem that bad though.
Cell and impact grenades, which does seem a little strong upon review. So thank your days that I'm not a developer. Getting onto the
definitely kind of strong with the nitro cell and stuff like that. But also his gadget is not meta breaking either, because it gives out his location. Because if the gadget goes out, like goes off, you know he's near, because it only works if he's near. Also, with the tripwire or whatever, does it so it electrifies them, so it makes it slower. I wonder if it stops them, like traps them. I would say maybe. And if it does that, you have nitro cells for a free kill. You have one nitro cell for a free kill. You can also have a Boss G for a free kill, because a Boss G is mostly a one tap. And you can also use the SMG. It's only 90 fire or 900 fire rate. That is still pretty good for an SMG, let's be honest. It is more fire rate than some ARs. So you can use that to gun down them if you miss the Boss G hits. So this defender seems okay.
Rig.
You know, you can take the impacts away, keep the nitro cell though.
An oil rig in the Antarctic. I wanted to go for a similar feel to how Tower and Villa play, and hopefully take away the bad elements of both of those maps. All right, this
Villa's
is
good though.
Preview I'm gonna do of
the other one's not though. Tower sucks, but Villa's pretty decent.
Sun. This is the basement floor of the map, which is still elevated above the ground. I call it basement because it's kind of below the playable area for them.
When you put your heart and soul into creating something, you want it to make an impact, to endure, to express something.
The map, but it technically is the basement. You're kind of hanging on these rafters here, this catwalk above the ice.
So it's rafters.
And this hole in the middle is actually where the drill will go down. But the attackers can actually spawn down here, and they can either rappel up these sides of the building, either the east or the west side of the building, or they can rappel up the center of the building. And you'll see that this is actually going to be an important part of the map. This is the basement spawn. I'm going to quickly go to the top spawn, and then we're going to go top down so I can show you.
I'm going to probably be honest. Top spawn is probably better than that basement spawn because you can just hold east or west and get a kill. Same with middle.
It gives you the north and the south as well if you want, with the added caveat of not being able to go down the middle this time. Here you can see a hatch. The green part is a hatch.
Seems good.
This will drop down, and then you can see also there's a stairway here, which you can also use to drop down.
Yeah, roof spawn is so much better.
So here we are.
Instead of 3, you got 5.
Here are windows. The blue things over here are doors with the arrows on them. Anything green is something soft, so these are soft walls as compared to the black walls, which are hard walls. The beige colored floors are soft floors as compared to the gray floors, which are hard floors. And you can also see the orange pieces of cover and the red pieces of cover that are just there to show kind of what I want the sight lines to be like. The red pieces of cover are tall cover that'll cover your entire body when you're stood up. Something like a dresser or a big piece of machinery, a server rack, something like that. Whereas the orange pieces of cover are smaller, lower to the ground pieces of cover that you can maybe crouch behind and get an angle. But if you're standing up, you'd still be.
Map seems really small though.
Visible. So these are things like desks. For this map, currently you have this big white area here, and you'll see why in a second. This is actually a balcony. The stairway from the roof goes down onto this balcony here. You've got a hatch here. All of these walls are destructible, which is going to be really helpful if you're on rappel over here. This is a very rappel heavy map and vertical heavy map. That's why there's 3 floors. That's why there's a lot of windows. To get into this site, you have many options as an attacker. This room here with what I would say is a main wall over here. This wall is probably going to be 1 or 2 reinforcements wide. That'll make it so defenders can put down bandit batteries or Kaid on that or anything. You have this hallway here, which is pretty much uncontested by the attack, which is going to be really, really helpful. It's going to be very, very useful to hold as defenders, this hallway, especially because it's a connector between the sites.
There needs to be more windows, if I'm being honest. Where that 3A is, probably needs to be a window in that corner. That hard wall in the back where that yellow square is at the moment, probably needs to be at least 1 or 2 more windows. It's giving me
no other connectors between
there's only a couple places to actually go in, and if the defenders are holding it good enough, you're screwed.
Talk about, and I should have talked about this probably earlier, but this entire room here in the middle is actually going to count as outside. So if a defender walks into here, they'll immediately get spotted, and the reason is because this spot here where you can rappel up as an attacker, you can rappel up pretty much through the entire map through this center spot here, is very, very important. If you had defenders just camping in here, it would be pretty hard to execute on this site. So there is a chance that maybe this idea of having it count, this main center room count as outside, doesn't have to be that way. But yeah, it's just, it seems like this is too easy of an area to hold for defense, and it would be very, very strong.
It makes sense. I mean, this map is a little too small. There's not too many entrance points for attacking, so it's definitely defending heavy.
And these hatches drop down to our next floor. You'll see this room here with the green hatch here is going to be a really important room, as it's pretty much the same side and has 2 hatches on.
This one definitely has a lot more floors, like a lot more rooms, so it seems pretty good.
But this is our second floor, which is a little larger.
I like this one better.
I should also mention that I'm going to turn on the grid quickly. So these guides is what I use to kind of get the map around, but every single one of these circles, imagine this as one soft wall, one standard size soft wall across and wide. That's kind of the scale we're looking at here for this map.
So maybe the map is a little bit bigger actually. So
room here, that is going to be kind of hard to hold as defense, but kind of also hard.
This map looks as big as Stadium though. So
we have a main cafeteria here over on the left side with a big window, one small window that'll be easy to get into if they either reinforce or don't open this wall. Another window over here that leads to some stairs that go upstairs.
Okay, I'm gonna skip this a little bit because the map seems good, but it also seems like it can be a little bit better. You know what I mean? And let's look at this one real quick. God dang it!
Your future is at your fingertips. Take advantage of the flexibility.
You have walls here, 2 soft.
Okay, here's the first floor. It seems like a lot of walls. A bunch of soft walls heavy, so not too bad. It seems okay. I think they can definitely maybe put this floor plan into work. But also I think this map probably needs some work. Like the concept of it.
Walls here that you can contest the entrance to.
I like it. It's not too bad. All right, system rework. I want to know the system rework.
You'll remember the famous Pick 10 system that allowed players to have full customization at the cost of each choice coming at the cost of the others that followed. You could only have a total of 10 choices throughout the entire class. With this system, I wanted to do something quite similar. Not only are we bringing back the 1.5 and 2 times sight options, but from now on, all weapon attachments are available on all weapons as long as the category exists. Yes, that means you can run an ACOG or 1.5 on the SMG-11. Now, you're wondering how we go about restricting the system so it's not completely overpowered.
It seems kind of crazy.
Black Ops 2's book, we have our answer. The R6 attachments will have a Pick 5 system, where each attachment will have a specific cost. For example, 1 times sights will have the cost of 1. The vertical grip might have a cost of 2, and the extended barrel might have a cost of 2 as well. This cost system will not only give the team more levers to balance
Let's be honest though, like
also allow attachments.
People are only going to run the good attachments. So people are going to run, what, the 1.5 and the ACOG? That's all they're going to run. They don't care about the Pick 5 system. They're going to run those sights no matter what. Yeah, like, extended barrel, blah, 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 are better for spawn peeking and crap. But let's be honest, dude. Everyone, if this system comes out, everyone's going to be running ACOG. Everyone's going to be running 1.5 with no care given. They're just going to do it
powerful,
because it's good.
Costly. The suppressor and muzzle brake could get massive buffs that they desperately need, with the caveat to them having higher costs. Now onto the elephant in the room, magnification. Yes, every single defender in the game will receive the option of having anywhere from a 1.5 to a 2.5, however the cost will be very high. The 1.5 itself will cost the entire 5 points on defense. This means if you want the scope, you have to forfeit a grip, a barrel, and an underbarrel. This system would obviously require a lot of time in the oven, but I honestly think I might be onto something. This and a weapon loadout saving system would be fantastic.
I don't really like this system. I really don't like this system, dude. I really don't. I think they should keep it the way it is because I kind of like it because not every operator has a flipping ACOG running around. I like the way it's spaced out with different ops, because if you want an ACOG, you got to run a certain op. If you want a 1.5, you have to run a certain op. That just makes it being better. Instead of if everyone's running ACOG on their favorite operator, it's going to be kind of broken, be really sweaty, and everyone's going to be really mad. So I'm gonna be honest, the system is, I don't like this system too much, but do comment down below if you do like this system, and then put your input on why you like this system, and then we can just talk back and forth. But make sure to hit the like, subscribe button down below, and adios, mi amigo. Shout out to Fourtythree, shout out to my man.